What's going on, world? It's your boy, Kuya P. This is the NRW, where nerds rule the world, back for another ShoPowSho. I know it has been some times. The Ates have moved away. They're doing their thing. When they have time, I will bring them through. But I haven't forgotten how to bring the show in. So let me get it right, because we have a special guest real quick to talk about her amazing show coming to the Hollywood Fringe Festival. And she's also part of one of my favorite podcasts as well. But it's your boy, Kuyapi, the Adobro, the Babinka boy, the leader of the Hala Hala Homies in the Center gang of the ShoPowSho. And please welcome my special guest from the Me Search podcast, as well as space exploration, because space exploration. I love her, Krystle Tugadi. There you go. I'm shooting off air horns right now. It's in post though, so I don't deafen you, because you have to perform, homie. You got things to do. Welcome. How are you?
Oh my goodness. I'm well. Thank you so much for the kind, welcoming introduction. I really appreciate that. I feel so hyped.
Hey,
Kuya, I feel
that's
so
what
hyped.
I try to do. And
Hey.
I'm sure you know, when you talk to some, because you're a podcaster, you're a host, you're an actor, you're a teacher, it's all about the energy exchange. I'm an empath. It's the energy you give to each other. And, when you're celebrating somebody who's doing something major like this is big for you. It's taken 6 years to make this happen. And just everything that's behind it, which I'm so intrigued on, because that's also where like ShoPowSho is rooted, is just like voicing my frustrations, exploring myself, exploring my people. That is what I feel, and what I read and saw the Indiegogo breakdown of what you said, and that's kind of like what I want to get from you. Like, how did this come together? In a brief synopsis, because I know you've got things you got to do and you're prepping, and we want people to go to the show. I'm gonna have all the links in the description below. Please go check out my pal Krystle over there as she performs. So that's a lot already to start off, Krystle. So, like, what was it like? Where this was pre-pandemic a little bit, but just like life, I'm sure.
Oh, for sure.
So just like, let's put pen to pad, fingers to keyboard, and let's release, right?
Yeah. So I went to grad school for acting. And my first year, my teacher kept saying, take space. And I'm like, I swear to God, I am. I'm pretty sure that I am. But, that's ego talking, And so my third year, and that just continued to echo in my brain. Like, as I continued through the program and, was discovering myself as an artist in like a deeper way in this really rigorous program. Like, what does it mean to take space?
Oh, I feel that.
Yeah, what does that actually mean? I always question
that as well, hearing that myself. I think a lot of us do, and as an Asian, there's a whole thing with that, right?
Oh.
Girl.
Yes, absolutely. And so my third year, slightly out of like the tiniest bit of spite, I'm like, I can take space. Watch me. My third year, I was also able to work with Roger Guinevere Smith. And he had my MFA acting class do like solo pieces. So I'm like, oh, this is interesting, like this solo work. So I'm like, okay, that, and like, I'll take up space, you. And like, solo show, what is this? What do you mean? I'm like, okay, let's take up space and start writing a solo show. Because I feel like a solo show is like the ultimate like project of taking up space, because you're literally having to take up the space all on your own. So I'm like, okay, let's write a solo show. Originally, it was going to be site specific. It was going to be like a cotillion. I was going to be like a million different characters, while people would like kind of go around the space. And maybe one day I will pursue something like this. But as a one-person show, logistically, that is insane. But maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe in the future I will entertain it again. But that was the original idea.
Wow.
And then my mentor was like, oh, about this. Maybe we should just like do it on a stage with like 3 doors. And I was like, but I'm not taking up space that way. But I'm like, okay, no, actually, that checks out. So I started writing it just for like a stage piece. And meanwhile,
Have you ever written anything like that with
no.
this type of a? I'm just intrigued. Yeah.
Yeah, no. Like in my bachelor's program, I did do like a little senior project where I wrote a few like kind of vignettes, if you will. And I actually took a little bit from that in this piece, like the teeniest, tiniest bit. But yeah, it was my first time writing such a big piece, like a play, really. Like I've never written a play. I'm like, what do I even do? I don't know. Like I've read plays, I've performed plays, but
Yeah.
writing one is like, what even? But
And a one woman show at that, where you have to do like all the things. I can only imagine.
yeah, yeah. So I so yeah, so we brought it down to stage and I started I started doing therapy. I wasn't with the greatest of therapists at the time. I was like with this old white guy who was falling asleep during my sessions and
Oh,
yeah, I know. And his only reference point of like the Filipino experience was nurses giving him lumpia. Yeah, so it's like I'm trying to heal and I'm trying to understand myself and also trying to understand my relationship with my mom because my relationship with my mom has been always been a little bit kind of challenging to say the least. But simultaneously writing this play and going to therapy and kind of also reflecting on what it means to be Filipina-American and like what does that mean outside of like yay I love my culture and like I love our food and I love our customs but like what does the experience mean
mm,
actually, you
yeah.
know? And I think those are the things that our community has a very hard time talking about. We can talk about how much pride we have in our food all day and how resilient we are and how, you know, all these things. But like, what did it take for us to be resilient? You know,
Let's go. Yep.
what does it actually mean to be a resilient person? And why do we have to be resilient in the first place?
Hmm. Mm.
So
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well, I'm decolonizing. And I started reading books like Brown Skin, White Minds. I read Kevin Nadal's work, and it was just absolutely eye-opening to see one, our actual history and why and how we got to where we are as a community today. And like why are we all nurses? Like
Let's
let's
go for real. Yeah.
let's honestly talk about it and not to knock on like the profession but like I think it is worth exploring if a huge chunk of us have felt so pressured into being nursing so pressured into nursing like why and again not a knock but like I think it shouldn't just be like oh that's just who we are as Filipinos.
Yeah.
There's a reason why.
Oh yeah.
Colonization.
Let's go for real. Let's
and
talk
and
about it.
and that is the truth. And like I know it's hard to hear sometimes, especially when it is our bread and butter and
Yeah.
what we've been taught like this is the road to success. But like why though? You
Hmm.
know?
Yeah.
And learning about our history and like our psychology and why it is the way that it is through these incredible pieces of literature and research, I was full of rage. Just
Right.
rage.
Yeah.
Absolute rage. Like, why do we have to do any of this? Like, why? So I started rewriting my piece again, and it was just like, just rage, just rage. And my husband was like, there's no arc, boo. I'm like, okay,
Yeah. You have to figure
okay.
that out because you.
Yes.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, how can I create a story and use this as a container for my rage in a way that like is also reflective of who I am as an artist, because I don't think that, like, people have known me as a singer, but people don't know me as an actor yet. And because I stepped away from music and I went into acting and I went to school for acting, and now, only now am I starting to emerge as like this multi-disciplinary artist. So trying to figure that out, finding a Filipino-American therapist who knows this, you know, and who is also very much dedicated to decolonization. Y'all, get yourself a therapist who totally values that.
Love that.
100%.
Love that.
Through all of that, I started to establish a better relationship with my mom. It's not perfect whatsoever, but I started to see her as a woman, as a mother, as a wife, as an immigrant, and finding that all of my rage from colonization and capitalism and religious trauma and, you know, all of these things are embedded in my mom's story. And whether she knows it or not, like, I see it like stepping out of the daughter role and just seeing her woman to woman Filipina. It's like, fuck, man, like, you made some choices there, but what are the roots of those choices? You know?
Oh, definitely.
Did you feel pressured to make these choices? Because there's a lot of times growing up, and even now, I'm like, I don't know if you really wanted to make that choice, you know?
Yeah.
And no, and me as an artist, as a Filipina artist, one, I'm not a nurse. And the pressure of like not being a nurse is fucking real. And we all know this. We know this.
Real talk. Or an engineer or lawyer. Like,
yeah.
All
right.
of that. Yeah.
Being a woman who does not want to have kids. Y'all, I'm saying it today. I don't want to have kids. Please stop asking me.
Let's go. Tell it. Yeah.
You know, the pressure of that, the pressure of like just, you know, having my life be a certain way because of our expectations, that makes me think about like, why did my mom make the choices that she made? And like, maybe she didn't want to make any of these choices. And that's not fair, you know?
Yeah.
It's not fair at all. Woman to woman, Filipina to Filipina, like, you should have been able to make any choices that you wanted to make in your lifetime on this earth. And so this is me exploring space. Like, what does it mean to take space and reclaim it? And so we're going there, y'all.
I love it. So we get to follow this character you've created that's a somewhat an image of yourself, but obviously, you know, it's we're actors. We speak through our arts. So we get to follow this character as she finds herself and yells and screams, but also comes to a resolution and a path forward on how to live with this trauma.
Absolutely. And so, yeah, so my story, the space exploration ×3, is about this woman, and her name is Baby, of course.
Yes. I love it.
And also loving on these patterns, of course, like giving love to these patterns. There's a lot of babies out there. We all know this. But her name is Baby, and she's a new immigrant. She's a new mom. Her husband is off on a space mission. So there's like literal space happening in that kind of sense. And her just grappling with how she got to the moment that we see her in, where she is at a novena at her house. What's the novena for? Y'all will have to find out.
Yeah.
But there's a novena, and there's an ate who is still there, and she's trying to get her out because she's asking too many fucking questions about why she's feeling the way she's feeling. So we start to see the unraveling of truth. What is behind the mask? What is behind the smile that we're all taught to do as Filipino women? Just smile.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything is okay. No complaining about anything. But I'm giving space. I want I want to give this woman her space to say what she really feels. And that is a very hard thing to do in our community a lot of times. And we'll
Oh, it's
see what she says.
and I cannot, oh man, I cannot wait to see this. And unfortunately, because I live here on the East Coast, I might not be able to make it. So, all my people on the West Coast, if you live anywhere near LA and near the Hollywood Fringe Festival, please go check out Krystle Tugadi. Again, I'll have all the links in the description below. Krystle, I have so many questions, but because I know we also have a little bit of time, but I'm going to have you back. And
Yeah,
fingers
yeah,
crossed, hopefully,
yeah.
we can make space and make time
Yeah, hell yeah.
have you back because I have so many questions. But in preparation for this, we spoke about the themes and what you're going to talk about. What was that like for you? Also, beyond just okay, you have what you're going to say, but also prepping to make a show like this and produce a show like this where it is just you. You have your amazing partner with Me Search Podcast, Dustin, helping produce. You also have I had her name here just a second ago, Scarlett Kim
Scarlett.
directing. What was it like working with these folks, bringing them in to help make this performance and premiering very shortly on June 10th, 3 days
Yeah.
as of this recording?
Ah! I'm scared. I'm scared out of my fucking mind. It's been a journey, y'all. Putting up a show, a solo show, is it is crazy. But it is necessary because we need to
Yes.
tell our stories. But working with Scarlett, so Scarlett Kim is this profound ass artist. I don't want to say profound ass. That is not honorable.
But it's hip hop
Like
too. It's hip
it
hop.
was hip hop too, but she is a profound, incredible director with just incredible vision that I had the honor of working with at CalArts. She was in the MFA directing program, so we did a lot of work together. And there was no one else that I wanted on this project other than Scarlett because we've done experimental theater together. And I know that we love as Filipinos musicals, but this is not a musical.
I was wondering, and dance, like integrating all this, because you did say multi-disciplines, but it's all love. It's all love.
Yeah, there is a moment of song, but like it is a straight play, so don't get excited that, don't expect
Yeah.
it's not going to be that. It's going to be pretty intense. And it's a little bit out, I mean, it's outside the box. And I wanted to go there. I wanted to push buttons. I wanted to expand space in a way that like this text needs. Our minds and our thoughts are not always coherent and it's not linear. So Scarlett is an amazing artist who can like see that.
Mm.
And so working with her like this last month and a half has just been so meaningful and fulfilling. And she just saw what I wanted to say. And so I'm really excited to share what we've created together. Justin has been hard at work trying to produce this. This is his first time producing a theatrical piece. And I know like Hollywood Fringe is also its own beast in itself because there's like so many other artists trying to share their story also. And like these shows are back to back at some theaters. It's like we get 15 minutes to load in and 15 minutes to load out.
Wow.
And then the next show comes in,
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's pretty intense. Like everything has to be tight, like getting like butts and seats is like a whole thing while also trying to work on the text
Mm.
and like trying to actually do the show.
Yeah.
It's been a very challenging thing trying to delineate time dedicated to like marketing and production and like just getting props, like
Oh
getting
yeah.
props
Right?
is
Yeah.
like that's like also so much time. So it's been I haven't been sleeping.
I can imagine. I can
Yeah,
imagine.
the like last month and like 2 months really has like when I'm at work, like if I have a break, I'm working on the show. When I get home, I'm working on the show. Like it's just like I'm always working on the show, and I
Yeah.
can't, as much as I have been loving this process, it is also very arduous, and I can't wait to take a little break after the show.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm grateful for the support from Scarlett. She freaking knows how to ground me. And Dustin is just hard at work trying to get, butts in seats and like trying to get the word out about the show. I really appreciate it. And yeah, it's putting up a production, y'all, it's
It's
the
something.
challenge.
It's something. And I want to talk all about that at some point when you had a break after doing the show. We'll talk all the things learned and everything, but I'm so excited for you, Krystle.
Thank you,
As a
Kuya.
creative, as a filmmaker, as a being a Filipino, as a person, as a energy, this is amazing, and what you're doing is going to speak and help in so many ways. And I want to thank you already for what you've given me as a fan of Me Search, and just seeing all the
Oh,
things you're doing, and what this is going to do. It's so inspiring, and I love it. I wish I could be there, and I'm hoping that this does I have a word. It's not coming to me, but because I'm over here on the East Coast, I'm like, can we bring it over here? You know
I
what I'm
would,
saying? Let's make
that's,
it be so large that we can get energy, and I'll make the space here. I know people over here. I would love to have you here and see this. But this is amazing. And so let's definitely keep in touch and tabs on this, but you're going to kill it. And I
thank
love
you.
this for you. I feel this, just everything that this is about, and just knowing, from this conversation, I you're speaking for a lot of us that have felt that, and just want to scream, want to shout, but we also know from our upbringing to do it in a special way, and this is a special thing that you're doing, and I love it. Krystle, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Kate. And thank you for everything that you do with your podcast. Like you are bringing so much light to our community, and we appreciate you. I appreciate you, and I'm glad that we're finally here together for like a moment.
Yes. Everybody, Krystle Tugadi,
Oh,
space exploration is coming to the Hollywood Fringe Festival. I'm gonna have all of Krystle's links in the description below. Please go check it out. Support her, even if you don't live in the area. I'm gonna probably buy some tickets and have some friends go in my place since I can't be
oh,
there.
thank
Because
you
we got the
so
shout out
much.
to Fab, the Filipino Actors Barcata.
Hell yeah.
All my people, they're in the area. Because I want people to see this, and I want to show love and show support. Krystle, you're amazing. You're going to kill it. Break legs. And please come back and let's talk all the things about it, and that you're going to come to the East Coast, because I'm going to make it happen.
Let's
Can we
go.
do
I'm
that?
down. That is the goal. That is a dream.
Let's go. I love it. Everybody, Krystle Tugadi, your boy Creepy.
Thank
Here's Rule the World. ShoPowSho.
you.
Mahal kita. Salamat.
Salamat.
There's a cut. Thank